Alright, man, this fight was so easy. No one can even complain. I mean, this is just like a cakewalk. Look at that, it's so beautiful. All FF7, FF7 calls, and now that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call not being professional at all. Because, yeah, didn't look at the turn count, didn't look at anything for this fight, just went in and said I was going to do an all FF7 team, which, by the way, you can. I just picked the wrong calls, and that's what happened. Needless to say, I redid it, I beat it with that team, and I'm just going to bring a different team because, you know, I figure someone else is doing that FF7 team. So let's do something completely different, and we will use Ramza as our primary damage dealer. Also, we're gonna use Ramza because let's not fail the turn count. Yeah, way to go, Bard. So what I'm doing actually in the beginning is I'm dumping all of my calls that are not my LD calls because honestly I don't need them, and I can get more damage throwing them out here rather than worrying about them later. So yeah, this fight was actually challenging. It was actually fun. This fight required some thought process. And yeah, I really liked this fight. I'm not gonna lie about it. So a couple quick notes to hit for anyone who hasn't done this fight or is looking for help doing this fight. Sephiroth has threshold attacks at 79%, at 49%, at 29%, and at 19%. He does the Heartless Angel Plus attack. Yeah, that one is actually fun. But you want to know the amazing thing about this fight? Cissnei trivializes it because, let's be honest, she's the featured character, and I tend to bring the featured character lately. I don't know why. I kind of enjoy it, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that I have them recently is just somewhat amusing to me. But we also brought Layla from FF2. Can we all just realize that Layla is a freaking monster? Everything Sephiroth does, Layla just says, can't touch it. Yeah, I'm gonna go sit in a corner for that. So yeah, the thing about Layla is, watch, everything he goes to do, she just dodges, and then she puts you right back in front, and you can keep on attacking, and those attacks are all free, because Layla is absolutely OP and busted. I can't think of a better character right now that just can avoid everything. And while, yes, the other characters in the party are technically getting hit, her Protect All is up, and then she also has her dodge, and every time that any damage is actually done, she warps us back right in front and decides to say, you know what, I'm gonna heal them. So yeah, we don't really have to worry about dying at all throughout this fight. It's really amazing just how well Layla does work for a massive amount of these fights. And I will say it again, Sine Wave, yes, I love to, you know, publicly harass Sine Wave, but the dude has been running Layla forever, and he is criminally undersubbed. I mean, the dude just did a video where it got over 1,000 views, and he's sitting somewhere around a little over 200 subs. So, friend of Dystopia, go give Sine Wave a follow, like his video, show him some love, and just look into what he does for Layla, because there's one dude that's been running her since day one. Yeah, it's him. And he's good at it too. So now that I've said something nice, let me say something that is, well, I don't really think it's controversial, but I know that there are people out there that absolutely hate Final Fantasy VII. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Final Fantasy VII was one of the first games that I actually truly remember playing. I remember sitting down and having to learn the game and having to figure out everything and actually putting in an effort to get good at the game. And I remember at about 10 or 11 years old, I ended up beating this fight. This fight was a pain in my ass, but I remember Safer Sephiroth. I remember when I first fell in love with this series as a whole, and it came with this game. So for most people, I bet there are plenty that are going to go into this chapter, they're going to watch the cutscenes, they're going to get hit in the feels, they're going to remember what made them fall in love with the Final Fantasy franchise in the first place. And this fight absolutely did that for me. It reminded me of all the good times. It reminded me of why I even played this game. It's not a shocker that, I started playing the Final Fantasy franchise and Tactics and 7 came out, and those are my two favorite games. So for me, I hope that some of you guys ended up having that same experience with this fight. I hope that some of you guys went into this fight and you just remembered all that hard work of getting to this final fight and you fighting Safer Sephiroth. And when you finally beat that son of a bitch and saved the planet, yeah, man, it was something special. So I hope that everyone got to enjoy this fight. And I think this will be the same for a lot of people because let's be honest, I'm slightly older than some of the other content creators. You're going to find people who their first Final Fantasy game was like FF13, and they're going to get that Buna Velza fight, and they're going to just remember why they loved 13 in the first place. I can't find any other way of explaining just what an amazing opportunity that Square Enix had, and they nailed this. They knocked it out of the park with this idea of bringing back those classic final fights that just bring you all the way back and hit you in the feels. And subsequently, if you guys haven't had that fight yet, don't worry, it's coming. It's coming somewhere down the line. Unless you were a Crystal Chronicles fan and you dealt with Jigron, because, well, let's be honest, no one likes Jigron. No one likes that fight. And, Jigron sucks. And Thancred sucks. Yeah, I had to choose violence. Why the hell not? And I also wanted to say that if you have paid attention to this fight, which, you probably would have turned my endless simping and blabbering on FF7, you would turn that off. You probably would have noticed that this fight was trivialized by Layla, and Cisne handled the orb. If you don't have Cisne, there's some options out there. Noctis is an option who has follow-ups. There is Freya, who I've seen people use. There's amazing options out there for anyone to use. You can also use that Saz call, and you can take turn hoggers to this fight, and you can just absolutely decimate it. It is, one of those fights where you can cheese it if you want, but it's a really good fight, and I really enjoyed it, and we're getting right to the end. So, we got to get to that point where, yep, there it is. There's his Heartless Angel Plus version. I honestly also think this fight would have been significantly shorter if Safer Sephiroth's animations were sped up a little bit, but I'm not going to complain about it. I mean, yeah, hey, it is what it is. It was a fun time. So, we're going to use an EX. I think we're just going to finish it off right here with the mightiest of squires. Roms is going to take the kill. We're going to bring it home. And, So, since I'm the first one up, I'm going to say, who did you guys run? What did you run? Did you have fun with this fight? Let me know in the comments down below. And while we're at it, let me know, what's that fight that's going to hit you guys right in the feels? Take care.